What's going on, beautiful people? It is I, your flying locomotive and faster than a speeding bullet SuperCliff, coming at you live with a brand new video. Now for today's video, I want to talk about the recent rumors and news from last week. Insider Daniel Rickman posted a tweet claiming the upcoming Marvel Studios X-Men reboot will focus more so on the team's female members. Arch nemesis and sometimes anti-hero Magneto will not be featured in the film. Instead, the reboot will have Mister Sinister as the movie's main villain. In addition, the studio is also planning to do two X-Men related projects, one being the X-Men film, and the other, wait for it, a Brotherhood of Mutants movie. Now don't worry, beautiful people, I will cover everything and provide you with my thoughts and opinions, but before I do so, please do me a favor. If you're new to the channel, then smash that like and subscribe button. That way you guys never miss out on anything that happens on this majestic channel. So yeah, let's do this. Let's talk about Mister Sinister being the main villain. I love this, and here's why. For the longest time, Magneto has been the face of villainy when it comes to the X-Men, and rightfully so. At the end of the day, Magneto is the antithesis. He is the opposite of Professor X, the Malcolm X, if you will, of mutant kind. Plus, he's an awesome villain. His character is easily understandable from a personal level, but having the ability to control metal is pretty freaking dope. When it comes to the Fox X-Men movies, it makes sense as to why Magneto is the main villain and or antagonist for most of those films. But here's the thing. It's similar to the Sony Spider-Man movies. We already know Spider-Man's origins, so the question's asked, do we really need to see the death of Uncle Ben again? The movie-going audience, many of whom who don't read comics, have been overly accustomed to the character of Magneto, both from the villain side and more from the heroic side. Obviously, the MCU will introduce Magneto. Like, to think that they won't is a bit naive, but by using the character Mister Sinister, you're already changing the landscape while also showcasing what the X-Men lore has been barely touched in the movies. For starters, Mister Sinister isn't really your typical supervillain. Magneto, Sabretooth, Blob, these villains are very much in your face. They'll fight you in the spotlight. Mister Sinister is much more secretive. He's a guy who usually prefers to act through agents and manipulation. Mister Sinister, born as Nathaniel Essex in Victorian London, was a human scientist. Created by writer ChrisClaremont, Sinister was inspired by the real-life evolutionary biologist Charles Darwin. Now, in case you person watching this video doesn't know, Mister Sinister wasn't born a mutant. Through experimentation, he became one, through the help of the one and only Apocalypse. Basically, he's obsessed with engineering humanity into a perfect race of superhumans. And fun fact, he has a particular interest in Cyclops and JeanGrey. Also, because Sinister is so obsessed with evolution and mutants, it provides the MCU the opportunity to help the mainstream audience understand the difference in the qualifications of a mutant. One of the many reasons why the MCU has been so critically acclaimed is because their films have done a really good job with teaching the audience about the characters and their powers, without it really feeling like a heavy dump of exposition. Lately, Marvel has not been doing that as well, especially when it comes to time travel, in my opinion. In Avengers Endgame, time travel is this, but in Loki, it's completely different. A lot of the projects of late have been contradicting each other, and because of it, it doesn't add consistency. By having Mister Sinister as the baddie, the expositions about mutants can be interwoven within the plot. Thereby, the writers and the filmmakers, they can still make a great story and movie while having the information travel alongside the film so that it doesn't pause the film in order to explain what's happening. And like I said, when it comes to Apocalypse, because of Mister Sinister's origins, the MCU can set up Apocalypse as possibly the main villain for the mutant saga. From there, let's move on and talk about the X-Men movie, and it being a female-led team. To be honest, I really don't care, and I don't have much to say about this. Most female characters in the X-Men are pretty dope, and many of them are better characters than what we have already in the MCU. The only reason I'm sort of like, why did you have to say that, is because, well, let's face it, a lot of Marvel of late has not been good. And unfortunately, a lot of the bad projects like She-Hulk, The Marvels, and despite me enjoying it, the Ms. Marvel show, not a lot of people dug those projects. And plus, when you say female-led X-Men movie in the year 2023, you're basically inviting trolls to shit on it. For me, I don't give a single fuck if the team is led by Storm or JeanGrey. Just make sure the team is well written. And whether it's female or not, give me well-written characters, because that's the only thing that matters in stories. I don't care about their height, skin color, or whatever. Just give me a good movie with good characters. And lastly, Marvel making a Brotherhood of Mutants movie. For me, I really like this idea, especially on paper. However, because we're in the situation in the MCU, not really hitting on all cylinders, my gut tells me to somewhat be cautious if this is true. Minus a few exceptions, Marvel doesn't handle villains well as opposed to their heroes, and I feel if they make a Brotherhood movie, I'm afraid they might make them too heroic, too funny or silly, and I don't really want that to be the case. If you're going to make a villain movie, you have to go about it very differently, and I'm not sure if the Marvel formula works for villains. Yes, you need nuance and the relatability in order to understand their plight, but at the end of the day, characters like Blob, Mystique, Toad, and even Magneto, they're not good people. They're not heroes. Is it possible to make a movie like this work? Oh, definitely, 100%. I would say the movie would have to take notes from X2, but right now, I'm not that confident. If the Thunderbolts works out, and if Marvel starts releasing hitters on a regular basis, then yeah, let's do it. But for right now, focus on your X-Men movie. You know, to quote a famous scholar, don't focus on your universe, focus on your characters and your story. Focus on your movie. So yeah, as always, I'm your majestic sayer of words, SuperCliff, and if you guys are new to the channel, then do me a solid by smashing that like and subscribe button, and also the notification bell so you'll never miss out on an upload, and so you'll always be kept up to date with your favorite top tier comics, movie news within this comic book world. Now tell me, what are your thoughts and opinions on the rumored X-Men movie? Are you guys happy about it? Are you worried? What are your thoughts on Mister Sinister? Let me know down in the comment section below. And until the next video, peace. Giggity goo.